Their training is finished. Goku has grown so strong, stronger than he ever thought he possibly could. It was thanks to him. He doesn't have those visions of being killed anymore. Ever since that day he clobbered Piccolo, he's never seen his death again. This makes him realize that he can change the future on a larger scale. Sure, he's used his foresight in battle to avoid death, but this is different. He's had recurring visions of that day ever since he gained these abilities, and now, to have it suddenly just vanish? That's a huge change to his whole outlook on life now. He will survive. He has to survive. He will fulfill his father's wishes and give him and his brother a safe and happy life. Raditz has been able to mostly harness the power of his foresight at will. He can't always make things clear. The events are all out of order, and it's a jumbled mess of things he doesn't understand. But there are occasional flashes where he can see something important, and that's when he knows that something is happening very soon. He's able to use his foresight to determine where the Saiyans are going to land. He can't quite pinpoint an exact date, but he does know the location. He names the city off to Bulma, with her sending in an evacuation order. The city is evacuated, and Raditz decides to hold up there and wait for them to arrive. Eventually, the day comes, with Raditz sensing their powers entering the atmosphere. He quickly powers up to alert the others that they're here, with Goku obviously making it there the fastest. He asks Goku if he remembers the plan, with Goku saying of course he does. He doesn't like it very much since he wants to fight the Saiyans at their strongest, but it is the fate of the entire planet and others like this on the line, so he'll listen to his brother. Raditz and Goku power up their most powerful attacks and then launch them straight up in the air towards Vegeta and Nappa's pods. Since the two aren't expecting to be attacked in the air, they're not able to stop the blasts and they're hit head on. They don't die to this, of course, but being hit by a pretty powerful beam and having your ship explode while you're entering the atmosphere? Yeah, that's gonna hurt anybody, bro. Vegeta powers up in rage, screaming down at the cowards. He flies down as fast as he can, and Raditz narrowly avoids his blow. Though, Vegeta swings another one and smacks Raditz across the face, sending him flying away. Vegeta then attacks Goku, with the two continuing to trade blows. Goku yells out for Chaozu to do it now. Chaozu pops up and uses his telekinesis to grab onto Vegeta's tail and pull it as hard as he can. Vegeta turns around to see his tail being pulled, but is confused since there's nobody there. Krillin then launches a Destructo Disc right at Vegeta, and he goes to dodge, but since his tail is still being pulled, once he moves to dodge the attack, his tail is ripped right off. Vegeta yells out in pain as he narrowly avoids being cut in half. Tien then appears next to Vegeta and fires a Tri-Beam right in his face. Vegeta takes his head on and glares at Tien. Tien is shocked that this only fried a bit of him, and Vegeta reaches out, grabbing his neck, attempting to break it. Goku runs back in to attack, though Vegeta catches his fist. Nappa then flies in, yelling that he's here to help, but Raditz reappears and knees him right in the gut. Nappa doubles over in pain, as Raditz leans over, grabbing and ripping off his tail. He then slams him right into Vegeta, causing him to let go of both Tien and Goku so he can dodge. Goku then flies up in the air and tells Raditz Vegeta's tail is gone, so to do it now. Raditz summons his artificial moon and throws it into the air, causing both him and his brother to transform into great apes. Vegeta and Nappa look up in horror at the two of them. Their power, it's incredible. If you remember from the last part, Raditz's power level was 13,750, with Goku's at 8,250. So, stacking on to 10 times boost of that gives us 137.5 thousand and 82.5 thousand. Their powers are gigantic now. Though Vegeta and Nappa are stronger than they were in canon as well. But they're nowhere near this level. I'd say Vegeta is around his early Namek Saga self, with Nappa much weaker than that, but I'd say around 9,000 maybe. So, yeah, these two aren't winning this. They can try to destroy the fake moon all they want, but the other Z fighters are in the sky defending it, and Raditz and Goku don't really give them much chance, as they lay waste into them. They are beaten down into almost being crippled, but the two Saiyans don't kill them. Once Raditz makes sure that neither of them can move anymore, he blows up the artificial moon to return him and Goku to normal. Raditz walks up to his former comrades and tells them that all he did was train with his brother, and he managed to become stronger than them. It only took a few years too, and here they are, losing to old weakling Raditz. He won't kill them. He's better than that. He needs them, and in all honesty, they need him. With all of them working together, they can defeat Frieza. With all of his knowledge and prep time, he was able to devise a strategy to beat them down pretty quickly, so imagine what they could do to Frieza if they all teamed up together. Vegeta laughs, saying that it doesn't matter how strong he thinks he's gotten, he is still nothing to Frieza. No amount of training they do will defeat him. He just cheated by cutting off their tails. He wouldn't be able to beat them in hand-to-hand combat. Raditz stomps on Vegeta's chest, yelling at him to give up his damn pride and listen to him. If he doesn't join them, then he's dead. They're all dead. What his father said to them all those years ago was true. Frieza did kill all of the Saiyans, and he's not going to let his father or any of the Saiyans down by letting that bastard live. So, if he finally wants to be freed, then they better agree to train together. Vegeta just glares up at Raditz, coughs up blood, and says, "Fine." Vegeta and Nappa are taken to Wukong Hospital to recover. They could give them senzu beans, but then they just get a huge Zenkai and beat the crap out of them, so they decided against that for now. Raditz does visit them in the hospital, however, and they talk strategy on what they can do to take out Frieza. They discuss on who the biggest threats are outside of Frieza, and they know that Zarbon and Midoriya are always by his side, but they'll be easy to eliminate. The Ginyu Force, though, could be a problem, with all of the strange abilities that they have. Vegeta and Nappa don't know much of what they can do, but Raditz does after looking into them with his Foresight. The most dangerous one is Ginyu, who can body change, so as long as they know to look out for that, they'll be fine. But he does have immense power. Goku's not even strong enough in his Grade 8 form to defeat Ginyu. They'll really need to up their training before doing anything. While Vegeta and Nappa recover, Raditz gets another vision of the future. One where he's in a weird uniform and stomping on Guldo. Then he turns and sees Goku in the same getup as him, put his fingers to his head, and disappear. What the hell was that? Once he comes back to the present, he tries to think of where he's seen this place before. It's not the first time he's seen those kind of clothes in a vision. He's tried to look into it, and he's pretty sure that they're from the planet Yardrat. If Guldo was there, then that must mean the rest of the Ginyus are there as well. Sometime soon, the Ginyus must be going to planet Yardrat to decimate it. Well, if him and Goku can get to Yardrat before them and train on the way there, then they may be able to take the Ginyus out of the picture. He relays this information to Goku and Bulma, with Bulma being able to use all 4 of the Saiyan ships to create a Super Capsule Corp ship that can pretty much take them anywhere in the universe at super speed. At the request of Raditz, she also puts a gravity chamber in the ship. That way, they can train at however many times gravity they please. They want to leave right away, so they gather up the Z Fighters to decide who's going on the trip. Obviously, Goku and Raditz are going, with Bulma and Yamcha along for the ride as well. Krillin and Tien elect to stay on Earth, as Piccolo is still out there, and they don't want to leave the planet totally defenseless. Goku asks Chi-Chi if she'd like to come along as well, and while she says she'd love to, she should probably stay here, as she's just recently become pregnant. This is some pretty shocking news to everybody, and Raditz smiles, as there was some sort of little boy in his future visions, but he never could tell who it was. He's glad that he finally gets to become an uncle. Vegeta and Nappa are finally given a senzu, with both of them pretty mad that they didn't get one earlier, but calm themselves as they need to keep their cool if they want Frieza dead. The crew all head off and begin their training on the way to Yardrat. Those training would be Raditz, Goku, Vegeta, Nappa, and Yamcha. They constantly increase their gravity for better training, and since the Saiyans are growing so high, Yamcha has to call it quits for now, as he can't handle the gravity increases anymore, and he just goes and chills in Bulma's room, playing, I don't know, like a baseball video game or something. They improve a whole hell of a lot in just a week. Think about how strong Goku got in canon through gravity training. So, with Raditz, Vegeta, and Nappa there with him, their gains would eclipse that of the normal Namek Saga Goku. They make it to planet Yardrat, and initially the Yardratians are scared by seeing these invaders, but Goku quickly calms them down with his demeanor, just telling them that they're here to save their race from these Ginyu guys. The main Yardratians aren't too trusting, but The Yardrat elder, Paibara, informs them that he can sense they're telling the truth. They really are here to help them. Paibara thanks them for their help, and offers to train them as thanks for trying to help them. They accept Raditz, Goku, and Yamcha, but they don't trust Vegeta and Nappa, and don't decide to train them. This obviously angers them at first, but once Vegeta sees what kind of training they're doing, he decides that he's better off just sparring with Nappa. Raditz and Goku spend a good amount of time with the Yardrats, learning more of their ways into spirit, and are even able to learn the legendary technique, Instant Transmission. Yamcha, on the other hand, learns another move. While showing off what he could do, he revealed his Spirit Ball technique, which Paibara noticed drained his life force every time he used it. To try and counteract this, Paibara teaches him more about spirit control, and, in particular, Forced Spirit Fission, a way to use spirit energy in a way where he's not draining his life force every time he uses a technique. Forced Spirit Fission isn't easy for Yamcha, of course, but he's able to learn the basics of it, and is able to use his Spirit Ball without draining his life force anymore, so at least he's improved in that area. The three have gotten pretty good with these techniques, though they don't have time to learn other moves, as the threat they warned the Yardrats about has arrived. The Saiyans head to the crash site and watch as every member of the Ginyu Force steps out to declare that they're taking over this planet for Lord Frieza. They're pretty shocked to see that instead of the Yardrats, they're face to face with the traitorous Saiyans. This is even better for them. The Ginyus prepare for a battle, with Recoome and Guldo stepping up to face them first. Raditz and Goku step forward, with Raditz instant transmissioning behind Guldo before he can freeze time, and he stomps right on his head to knock him out right away. Goku then blitzes Recoome with one hit, and looks over to smile at Raditz. Raditz looks up at Goku, and watches as he puts his fingers to his head and instant transmissions over to Ginyu, telling him they're outmatched, and they don't have to fight, as they can join them in the battle against Frieza. Ginyu shouts for him not to get cocky now, and attacks, though Goku is able to catch all of his blows and wipe the floor with him pretty easily. Ginyu is about to unleash his body change technique, but since Goku knows about it now, he knocks him out cold before he can fire. He then turns to Jason Bardock, asking them the same question again. Before they can respond, a beam goes through both of their chests, and they fall to the floor, lifeless. Goku yells out, asking Vegeta why he did that, with Vegeta saying that they weren't of any value to them anyways. They'd have just slowed them down to battle against Frieza. Goku glares at Vegeta as Nappa finishes off Ginyu and Guldo while they're also out cold. The Yardrats come over and praise the Saiyans for saving them, with Paibara especially thanking them, as they surely would have perished without their help. With the Ginyu Force dead, Raditz knows that Frieza doesn't have any more allies besides Zarbon and Midoriya. He can't foresee King Cold getting involved, so he thinks that for now, things should just be between them and Frieza. Raditz thanks the Yardrats for their hospitality, and the group all go off to depart the planet. Using the Ginyu Force's pods and scouters, they're able to find out Frieza's exact location. So, now it's finally time for the Saiyans to go and avenge their people. And with that, we're going to be leaving this episode right here. Sorry for the extremely long wait between part 2 and part 3 for this series, but don't worry guys, things should be stepping up now from upload standards, if you know what I'm saying. So anyway, I want to give a huge shout out definitely to Chandler Draws Things, who was a former patron of mine who suggested this scenario. If you guys want to become a patron as well, then you can sign right up and tell me what kind of what if you want me to make, and I will make it 100% guaranteed no matter what tier you sign up for. So, shameless plug for my patron right there. Anyway, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of my current patrons. And starting off in the official patron tier, we have Nathan, BBB, Bossmaker, Semroth, Happy Chappy, Silverstrike, and Courtney Hawkins. In the moving up in the world tier, we have Patrick Sandlin, John Lister, Boris, Cinchunrun92, Oak Woodtree, Monal, Blake Foyer, Matthew Garcia, True Lightning Striker, Faisal Al-Sharif, Adrian Williams, Kelstar159, The Shadows, and Damar the Bell. In the VIP patron tier, we have Levin726 and Kenan. And finally, in the God tier, we have Tails Homie 99. Thank you, especially Tails Homie 99. You are an absolute god. And thank all of you guys so much for watching. And until we meet again. See you later.